be string arrays and slicing. String arrays and slicing. So we're going to be working with arrays and strings and being able to slice strings. So let me comment this out, and then we're going to start from the very beginning here. So as always, we're going to start with my name. So let's give my name equals Fru Louis. All right, so that's my name. Very simple. Very simple stuff. We're simply taking a variable, and well, that's why this is complaining equals to. All right, so we're taking my name equals Fru Louis. Very, 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 very simple stuff. Earlier we saw that we can actually print the first character of my name. All right, so we can print let's say we want to print the very, very first character of my name, which is Fru here. And what we can do for this is just simply to say print my name. And we saw this a little bit earlier, my name. And then how do we print the very, very first character of it? We say this, comma, first character, 0. All right, run that. So F, right? If I want the second character, which should be R, 1. Again, why? Because in programming, we start counting from 0. So very basic stuff, very easy to follow. Now, what instead of just printing the first character or the second character, let's keep it that way. We want to print from, say, between the second character, the 5th character to the 7th character. All right, so we can also do that. All right, so I can say print that. Now, instead of just putting this as the first character, I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'll say 5 to 9. All right. Oops, not that. So I want to print from 5 to 9. All right. And we'll see what the results looks like, and I'll explain it a little bit. Why are we complaining here? Let's make sure that we got the syntax correct. Yep, that syntax is off. So we're saying print from 5 to 9. That's what the syntax looks like. All right. So 5 starts from this, 9, so I should actually have to 10. All right, so I can include the last character. So it's, you see, it's taking this entire string, my name, and it started printing something from position 5 to position 10. And again, we remember that we start counting from 0. The reason why I counted 6, but then I wrote 5 was because I counted from 1 to 6, but I just knew that I'll just have to minus 1 in my head to start at 5. Right, an easy way for you would just be to count from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this is 5. So that's why we start from there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so 5 to 10, which is minus 1. You might have to play around with it to get the exact positions based on what you're doing, but this is a syntax for us to go ahead and to start slicing strings, right? Because I'm taking a string and I'm slicing a piece of it that I want, and I'm able to print that to the screen. So something very, very powerful. And for those of you out there that are paying attention, we don't always have to slice just one way, right? We can slice the positive way, but we can also slice backwards, right? We can also slice in a different direction. And how do we do that? We can actually use negative indexes in here. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me just do 9 to let's do 9 to 6. I think that would make sense. All right, so you see, basically what this is doing is it's slicing. So I'm going from minus 9 to minus 6. Let me actually do something that would be better. Let's do minus let's do minus 5. Actually, just do minus 1 to minus so minus 6. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. All right, so this is printing Louis. The reason why I counted on my fingers was I wanted to see how many digits in my name. I should know that Louis is 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5, but then I have to give one space because I'm going one space ahead, so 6. So what this is saying is -1 is well, because we're doing minus, right, we're simply starting from this way and counting backwards. All right, if you're doing your slicing from positive, say like 5 to 10, is simply saying start from 5, go all the way to 10. All right, but if I say -1, I'm simply saying start from the right side, -1, which starts here, and then go back 6 places. So I'm going -1, and then I'm going back to position 6, so it'll be -6 backwards this way. All right, and that's why we're able to print out Louis. All right, so you can slice forward, moving things forward, and you can slice backwards, right? And this actually makes sense. So if you had a text that was huge, right, in your string, you don't want to necessarily start from the forward going back. Maybe there was just a piece of it at the very end that you want to take. Guys, you can go ahead and use something like this to slice that string. Here is a challenge that I'll give everyone. Let's say my email equals Louis. Just bear with me here for a second. Louis@gmail.com. all right, and you wanted to write a program that would check whether my email is .com or .edu. all right, because I can have this as louis.edu. all right, so let's say we have my email, and the reason why I'm showing this is to make a case why doing something like this could be very, very important. All right, Louis Nde, right, and then this one is .com. all right, so what do you notice? If I was to write a string that says count from like maybe 12 this way, and then from 12 to 12 to 13, 14, 15, 12 to 15, so you can extract this .edu, right? And then I program 12 here and I program 15 here, and then I get a new string that looks like that. That program will not work, right? Because it's gonna count from 12. In this case, 12 kind of made sense, right? Because 12 ended here, but if I'm counting 12 here, it's gonna start from here, right? So it's gonna miss, it's not gonna be able to extract .com for me. So in this case, I would want my program to start from here and go 3 backwards, because in every email that will be consistent, right? .com, for the most part. All right, you might want to make it start from the left and then go backwards until you find a dot, and then that's what you want to extract. So there are ways that you can write the program to do things like that, right? Where you can take an email and be able to extract what that last domain is. And using things like this string splitting, you can be able to implement something like that. So the challenge that I want for you guys, if you're following along, is to write a program that can take a string like that, right, like an email specifically, and be able to extract that last part, right? You're gonna need the string splitting, but you might also need some other string functions, like finding the index of a particular value, right? Like, how do you find the index of a particular value? If I give you dot, can you tell me what position dot shows up in a string? Then you can take that position and then use it to split your string. So that's something that you can do. That will be a challenge if you're following along. But this should give us some very, very, very basic rudimentary ideas around working with strings, arrays, and being able to slice. Basically, what we're doing here is this is like an array. It's treating this as like an array, and it's simply just counting the positions. If you're not familiar with what an array is, again, in future concepts, we're going to be covering arrays more in depth. All right, so this takes us to our next piece of the lecture, which is concept 1.3.8. So a lot of concepts for strings, guys, a lot of concepts. And I understand, just bear with me, because strings are so important that every programming that you do, more than likely you're going to be coming across strings, and it's very important that we know how to be able to manipulate strings inside out, so that if you have any challenge,